Hey everyone, welcome back. It is our third review in as many days, sixth review in like 10 days. We are going hardcore with these reviews. You guys seem to like them. We keep on doing them. With me again, we have Campo.Reviews over to my left, the man who reviews movies, TV shows, and now wrestling. And wrestling has been growing this channel. So with that, I want to thank everybody on that. You'll find his stuff down in the description below. Tonight, yes, we will. Tonight we are covering the New Japan pay-per-view, Sakura Genesis, formerly known as Invasion Attack. And wow, it was good.
It's a way better name.
Yeah. Better than Invasion Attack.
Invasion Attack is one of those names specially reserved for Noah or one of the women's companies that are like Super Women Gallery, awesome queen fight.
Or a really bad sci-fi movies from the 50s.
That's true.
With giant ants or something.
New
Mars
Japan
attacks.
March Ant Attack, giant ant invasion.
Mars attacks.
Yeah.
But we start off with what's her name in the ring, the host there. And I didn't understand this concept of this tag match. Did you? It was a random.
I think she picked who was going to be in this match and nobody knew about it.
Okay. That's why they had Yanu's teammates on the other team and they put him with people that hate him.
Yeah.
So we get Toru Yano announced. I don't know. We get Toru Yano announced, and then we get Yo going to the other team. And then we get Great Khan being announced as Yano's teammate, and El Desperado being brought to the other team. And then we get Minoru Suzuki once again getting another pop for Kaze Ninare, and Tanahashi on the other team, where they just teamed Tanahashi and Yano.
Which is weird because you put two Chaos guys against the Chaos guy.
Yeah.
And you put a old Suzuki gun guy against a old Suzuki gun guy.
No, current. You had Yo and Desperado. Aren't they team? They're the champions with Suzuki.
Yo and Desperado.
Not Yo. Sorry. Desperado is and Narita.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not really Suzuki Gun anymore. They're just like
Team Strong Style. They're called.
Yeah. So we'll see what.
But happens. It was fun. I mean, Yanu, in terms of like comedy, like Suzuki
it was a funny intro. Like everything that happened was funny. I didn't understand
basically
the point.
This was the match while everybody entered the arena. So if you missed it, you didn't miss much. But if you caught it, you caught something fun.
Poor Tanahashi, like. His theme song has been played so many times in the last month that, like, I'm sure people just don't give a shit about him anymore.
Well, this is the first time he's been in Japan in like 3 weeks, so.
But it's like they're just trucking him out. He's just getting. If you're a Japanese wrestling fan who lives in Japan, I'm sure you watch his American stuff.
Yeah.
Right, the same way we'd watch Kenny Omega go over to wrestle in Japan.
Yeah, very true, very true. I like that little spot at the beginning where Khan and Suzuki just started slapping each other for no reason over who goes in first.
There was a lot of funny stuff, and then after, didn't Desperado throw Yo out of the ring, even though they're on the same team, so that he can fight?
There was when Suzuki wants to go tag in Yano, and Yano's like, no. And he's like throwing his hand and he just slaps him on the chest. And Kelly's like, I think that's a tag.
Yeah, I think it's a tag. This had good comedy.
Yeah. And like I said, it was a different type of opener, but it was the opener. Like, this was not the opener to get the crowd into it. This was kind of like, I would akin this to like
arena's coming.
Yeah, a pre-show match kind of thing. Like,
the arena's coming is what I said.
Yeah,
the arena was horny. But listen, it's these early matches, I think there's 4.
Yeah.
I'll give
the fourth one set up something big.
I'll give you right now before we even do it. Across all 4 of these matches, I would say the match quality was like 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But the storytelling is like closer to an 8.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Yeah,
and I think that made up for a lot of it because there's 2 of these matches that tell a lot of story.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think 3. The next 3 tell a lot of story.
Oh, there you go.
So, surprisingly, Toru Yano pins Tanahashi.
Yeah. Hey, and it was a good, fun comedy match.
Yeah.
None of the ring work was necessarily bad.
It was 13 minutes.
But I think they like Someone's probably on a headset and they're telling them keep going because they're
The
trying to fill
crowd
up
is
the
eating.
arena, right?
Yeah, the crowd is eating it up. Yeah, and those 6 people in the ring can do that. They can keep going
Yeah,
if
those are
they
all big names.
they can improvise. Yeah,
Great-O-Khan saved like 13 lives.
yeah, a couple
Like he's,
kids, and
he probably saved a dog. He probably
he's
carried a dog
champion
and
of the
like 4
British.
kids. Yeah, he's the British champion.
Right. So, but yeah, it was a fun opener. It was something different, and I'm glad we got something different. Not the same old. Here's 10 random people. Here's a match. You know what I mean? It was. But next we got United Empire, Jeff Cobb, Hinare, and Francesco Akira against House of Torture, which was Yujiro Takahashi, Evil, and Show with Dick to Go on the outside.
And the only story I think that's possibly being told here at all is that they might make them into a trios team.
Okay.
Because did you not notice Kevin Kelly kept talking about how good that United Empire lineup would be as a trios team?
Yeah, he did. But Akira currently is
he could still be on a trios team
That's true.
because it's open weight.
Because I see them, I notice now they're moving Great-O-Khan more towards a solo, and they split up the team of him and Cobb. Cobb and Hinare are now the team.
Well, it was originally Khan and
Hinare.
Hinare, but now I think they're switching it to be because they see like potential with Great-O-Khan that they're switching the tag team again.
Yeah, he's getting really over with the crowd.
But Cobb is really good.
Yeah, he is. Which is funny because when they were a team, we were indifferent about it. But as solo competitors and going off in their own direction,
I think our respect came in the G1 tournament when we started to really respect them and what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Because you wanted me to tell you something front to back. United Empire is the strongest faction maybe of all time.
Yeah.
Like they have nothing but good wrestlers. Even friggin' Goofus, the manager guy, is like such a dirty, greasy heel that like it just makes you want to not like him. I can't remember what his name is. I'm not gonna try, but
yeah,
probably like Nigel.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, this was a good match. I'm tired of the House of Torture thing though.
Yeah, they need to figure out what they're doing here.
Gideon Gray.
Gideon Gray. There you go. It's Nigel-y enough for me. But they need to figure out what they're doing really quick with House of Torture because Evil's still so popular, even though we all both agree that his ring work is no longer what it used to be.
He's still over with the crowd.
Yujiro can really go when you let him. Yeah. And Peter is like over with the crowd. Then you have
I think keep Yujiro as somebody who's going to put the next talent over.
I think so too. And then you got to figure out what you're doing with Show, man, because he's way too good to be in the position he's in. And Dick to Go's a trash bag. Put him in the to go bag.
Dick to Go. But yeah, agreed. I mean, Show, he's being squandered in this group. I think we are in with what happens later in the night. I think we are in for a Bullet Club implosion.
I think we are, and
split.
I think the split that will happen in this specific scenario will stay here just only on this. I think House of Torture is not going to be in a feud with them. I think they're all just going to split up and go their own way.
Yeah. And they're just going to be
Dick to Go is going to go with Evil.
Yeah. I think he's going to stick with Show. I'd like to see Dick to Go and Show Dick to Go.
Show me your Dick to Go. Whoa. That's a triple rhyme. But yeah, it's either way, it's irrelevante to me. But they need to figure out what they're doing with Show, and I would love to see a Show and Yo rivalry start again.
Yeah,
especially because he's jealous about Show or Yo and Leo Rush. Roppongi 4K.
But yeah, it was a decent match. It was short. It was just what it needed to be. At the end of the match, Kira just starts cursing in Italian, which I started to laugh. And just like, can he say that? And then Kevin Kelly is like, he can't say that.
I mean, they do. You know what's funny? A lot of the people in the other languages swear a lot.
Yeah.
And nobody says anything.
But yeah, because I don't think they is
like
very
Phantasmo used to swear a lot.
Yeah. So did Chase.
Yeah. So did
Finley.
Juice.
Yeah, Juice Finley does too.
Yeah, Finley still swears a lot. So did Jay White, actually. You know what? It could just be Bullet Club.
It's just a Bullet Club thing. Yeah, I mean, we get next we get our third match of the night, which was it 3 of the 4 guys? Oh, but Akira calls out they accepted the challenge. Catch 2-2 are going to defend their championships against Kushida and was it Kevin Knight?
That's a banger match. We've seen it in
will
the
be,
tournament.
but why do we need that if we're getting Kushida versus Thing next week?
Put the gold, all the gold.
Okay.
Listen, Kushida is we talked about this, but like for anyone who didn't watch the other episodes, if you are watching now,
go back and watch them. Why are you not watching them?
Yeah, number one, drop a like. But he's such a legendary wrestler at this point, and he's still young. And I don't understand why, since he left New Japan the first time, or when he left to go to WWE, since then, he's not got any shine really ever given to him, minus a little bit here or there. I think he's someone who deserves to be wearing 7 belts.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't feel weird.
I think someone like Kushida was never able to shake the junior heavyweight championship stigma from him. Because he's never been a big guy, right? And he's never in New Japan, he never really got that push.
Well, as soon as he never was anything except a light heavyweight when he left Japan. Then he started wrestling other division. Well, because there is no light heavyweight division in any other company.
Right. Well, he was 205 champion or whatever it was called, the cruiserweight champion in WWE when they merged it with the North American Championship after. It was a good match, Kushida versus what's his name there? Diamond Mine guy. The other guy, Roderick Strong. No, Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong.
The Diamond Stud?
The Diamond Stud, no, Scott Hall. But yeah, I mean, but they call out Kushida and Kevin Knight. When's this one going to happen? Is this one happening at Capital Collision?
I don't know.
Because there's no information right now on Capital Collision, which I think is their next show.
To be honest with you, I have no clue.
Because next is the tournament is the Best of the Super Juniors next, right?
Yeah,
I think, yeah. But yeah, it was good for what it was, though. We'll see where it goes. Next, we got 3 of the 5 guys of Taichi, Kanemaru, Doki against LIJ, Naito, Shingo, and Bushi.
And I think this was such a smart idea to do this
because
they don't even really have a beef against each other.
No, they just want to show that they belong up there with them.
Yeah,
and LIJ, boy, did they ever.
Yeah, but LIJ is still like, they're more mad at Sonata than they are at
the 5 guys.
5 guys, burgers, and fries.
Yeah. It's late, guys.
I mean, it's not really late.
I mean, yeah, but it's also a long weekend, so happy Easter, by the way, if anybody who celebrates.
Yeah, we're also been filming for a long time.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. 5 guys go over. Kanemaru puts the submission on Bushi. And Kanemaru is getting a little shine here and there now.
Hey,
which is good. This guy's a legend. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
he is, and he's not treated properly anymore. He's sort of fallen into the category of
like a Taguchi,
even like Kushida, where it's like they did so much around Japan and like really
like, go watch some
dominant.
of like from the late or early 2000s, like his All Japan stuff, or when he was in Noah. Like, this guy was lighting it up on fire.
He's really, even when he first came to New Japan, he was super dominant. And it's just kind of strange. I mean, he did pretty good. Where do we see him fight last? Was it the tag tournament? Was he one of the tag teams?
Yeah, and we saw him. Yeah, it was the World.
And they were pretty good. It was him and Bushi, I think, or him and Desperado. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, it was him and Dookie.
Him and Dookie. And Doki, the Doki Choki is very over right now.
Yes, the Doki
They told him to make the shirt. He said no. He's like, no, buy this shirt. He's like, I don't like that one.
Do the Doki Choki.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but
him and Taka must know each other from WWE. From when Kevin Kelly
from
was
the
there.
WWE days. Yeah, because Taka was there when he was part of that faction, and
and
Kevin
Dick
Kelly
was there too.
Yeah, he was. That's right. He was part of that. What were they called? I forgot their faction.
I don't remember.
But yeah, I just remember the last time we saw Taka in WWE was when he was eliminated in the Royal Rumble. He hit face first on the mat,
Hey,
broke his
sometimes you
face.
hit face first. But listen, the Michinoku driver is one of the coolest looking moves in wrestling.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of my favorite. Like it looks impactful too when you hit it.
Yeah, it's up there with like One Winged Angel and stuff like that for the way it looks
Yeah.
when you hit the ground. Even the Jaded or
Yeah.
whatever it's called, Valhalla,
Mm,
like that like drop with face down, that's a
yeah.
pretty like
The
hard
electric
looking
chair
move.
slam. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
looks dominant too. But I mean, this was surprising. It told a good story. Kanemaru goes over LIJ, which it is going to play into something that's going to happen later tonight too.
which also Doki calls out Naito and says, I want you one-on-one. Mano y mano, he kept saying.
Yeah, mano y mano. Yeah.
He's like, Dad, as you hear Kevin Kelly, is he saying mano y mano? Like, I believe so.
Yeah. But it was good. A group that I thought started off as a joke is really starting to show
Hey,
dominance.
and you know what? I'm glad that I was right that they weren't a joke.
Yeah.
So good on that.
It's creating new feuds. It's putting people over that necessarily weren't over before, kind of thing. It's creating new stars, and it's refreshing. It's something different. You know what I mean? It would be like all of a sudden one day, Ricochet teams up with, like, I don't know, some other group, like some other high flyers, Carmelo Hayes and Ricochet and somebody else. They all join forces one day, and it's like, you know what? We're the high flyers, and and it's going to be like they just start dominating. What a concept, eh?
Yeah. It
But
was a
this is
smart move. A smart
yeah,
breaking up Suzuki Gun was the right idea.
yeah. But now you have this coming out of that, and then poaching Sonata from them
Yeah.
was the icing
And
on the
then
cake.
also things are going really good on the other side with the whatever they're called now. You said it earlier with Desperado and
With
them.
Desperado and Team Strong.
Yeah,
style,
they're pretty good too. So good for
yeah.
them.
And then this way, but yeah, it was good. Like you said, Doki calls out Naito, and Kanemaru submits Bushi, where they were kind of all submitting everybody at the same time, which looked pretty cool in the ring as well. But with that, we're going into our fourth match of the night, which had big implications, which was Bullet Club, David Finlay, El Phantasmo, and Kenta versus Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, Hikuleo with Master Wato. One of these things just doesn't belong here.
Yeah, Master Wato.
But I mean, then again, who are you going to put in this match? Who do you
Where
have?
the hell's Tongaloa?
He's hurt still.
He's been out for like over a year.
Yeah. But you could tell already they're still telling that dissension in the rank story with the Bullet Club, where the kid's wearing the what was it, which group was he wearing? He was wearing a
I don't
base,
remember.
but he puts it down and he gives him his beanie, and then Finley just comes in and he like chucks the hat into the crowd.
No, it was a poster that said "Who's the leader."
Was it? No, but the kid was wearing a hat.
Oh, that's what he did. Okay,
Yeah,
so but he
then
had a
after
poster that said "Who's the leader."
When David Finlay turns his back, ELP kind of like throws him his shirt and he's like, "Keep it quiet." So I mean, I don't know what's happening here, but I like the storytelling.
I
We
think.
find out.
Okay, so just tell them what happens.
Okay, so Bullet Club go over. ELP gets the pin over Master Wato, which that in itself, ELP is really starting to come into his own. I have a feeling ELP is going to be making a good run of it, because I think our next feud is going to be David Finlay against Tama Tonga, where Finley's going to win the Never Openweight Championship.
And I think their 10-year celebration of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
They keep talking about it. We're gonna go into Forbidden Door, and there's gonna be some kind of storyline pre this happening involving Kenny Omega. I don't think he's gonna be a main part of this, but I think it's gonna involve him just to like prove a point. And then you're gonna go Jay White, Juice Robinson, ELP
against these three.
Because
what happens is
it's gonna be Chase Owens.
But Kenta's trying to break up the fighting between Finlay and ELP, because they like smack each other, they hit each other, and then Kenta he low blows him, and then Kenta low blows ELP, and he sides with with Finley, and then we get Taiji Ishimori
Ishimori.
coming out, and we thought Ishimori was going to
Oh yeah,
come out.
that's who the 3 is going to be, and Chase Owens will probably be at ringside.
Yeah, and Taiji Ishimori comes out, and you think he's going to side with ELP, and then he ends up, because they were tag team for a while too, and then he ends up going with the Bullet Club as well. So I think that's what's happening. Jay White, ELP, and Juice Robinson against Finley, because there's already that Robinson Finley feud already there too.
And there's already a Jay White and Finley
feud with Gato there too, right? So,
and I think it makes sense. And then you can spawn out the entire rest of this year with all of your crossover things that happen, having 2 separate factions of it.
Yeah.
You can let them add whoever they want here and there to both sides, and then you just eliminate House of Torture completely out of the equation.
Yeah. They can fade off into the background.
They're not even really Bullet Club. They're just barely Bullet Club. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then you can add Chase and what's his name there? Bad Luck, and add Chris Bay and Ace Austin to ELP's faction. That'd be that's a great 5-team, eh?
And I think you got to grow it still. I think there's definitely potential to get at least one more guy in AEW or Impact.
Kenny.
I don't think they're going to get Kenny. Not with Jay White.
Cole?
No, I think of someone who's a high mid-card wrestler that can go, but doesn't hold their own weight with their name, because it's going to be that kind of person. They don't want anyone to overshadow it, right? It's going to be like an Ethan Page or something.
Ooh, I'd take Ethan Page.
It's going to be someone like that, right? And then from Impact, it's going to be like, what's the guy's name? Not Eddie Edwards, the other idiot.
Which one? There's a couple.
The other Eddie Callahan. It's going to be like Sammy Callahan or something.
What if they bring in Big Bill there? Morrissey.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
As the muscle.
You see what I mean? Like, you could do that. And in Japan, there's a few... They definitely have plans to bring in people, because they're losing people, right? So they definitely have people on the cusp that are about to get signed that are going to be like, oh, we'll throw you.
See how they're gonna write this now with Jay White not being allowed. Well, technically, he's not New Japan anymore.
He can make them come
to him,
right? He could be at Impact events or Ring of Honor events.
Yeah. So safe to say, I think ELP is out of Finley's Bullet Club.
But I think this is the right move, because I think there's 2 options here.
Yeah.
ELP is going to go and flourish on his own.
Maybe we get an ELP Kenta feud where ELP wins a strong.
Yeah, and maybe that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that happens. He gets his own. He does his own thing. But for now, just to get back at them, he teams with the Jay White team.
Mm-hmm.
Or his contract's expiring and we don't know, and he's about to sign with AEW, and that's what this whole thing is about.
Could be.
Because ELP is a freaking good wrestler. And we've only learned over time
after
how
G1.
Much better. Yeah, he just keeps getting better.
He keeps improving. He's one of those wrestlers that just keeps improving every time we see him.
No matter how despicable he is, he's just so likable that people can't help but want to cheer for him.
And when he does turn babyface, it's going to be a huge pop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Canadian.
We next go into our first of 5 title defenses. We have Mercedes Moné defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Azumi and Hazuki.
How much time do I have here?
We got lots of time. We can go all night, buddy.
Okay, give me free reign of the table for now.
Go for it, because I got a lot of stuff to. I got a lot of stuff to.
Do not like Sasha Banks. I say it over and over and over and over. I completely understand the name recognition.
Counterpoint: this was the best she's looked.
Counterpoint: I agree. Not counterpoint. Just continuing. Okay. I don't like her, but I understand the name recognition. I understand that's why they gave her the title, and I realize my error of not understanding why they did it. Okay, I get it. Her character is fine. It's pretty good. She's a decent on mic person. She has a lot of clout. That's what's happening here. Her in-ring work is not the worst I've ever seen by a long shot, but this match is arguably the best match I've ever seen her wrestle. Maybe we have to give a little tap on the shoulder to the other 2 ladies in the ring.
Azumi and Hazuki, because they were...
This match as a whole was fucking fantastic. And I can't believe how good it was. Like, I could not... I literally had my phone in my hand, and I was like... and I couldn't turn away
I
from
put
the
it down
screen.
for the whole match. Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know how we've been watching so much Japanese women's wrestling and did not even catch wind of Azumi. Like,
Azumi, I've been singing her praises ever since we saw her in that Stardom match.
but like, she's crazy.
Yeah, she's really, really good, Azumi.
I mean, mind you, what's her name is good too. I keep forgetting what her name is.
Hazuki.
Hazuki, but
And they're both young too. They're very young.
Hazuki's a lot younger, I think.
She's like 23 or 24 or something like that.
Yeah. She was one of her first big matches. She was at Supercard, the G1 Supercard in 2019, where she was only like 18 years old.
Yeah. But this was, like I said, Monet is improving. I think it's also, you know how you don't like the hits that don't look like they're doing any damage? She's picked up a few pointers and she actually looks like
I think she's just understanding how to work with these women now. It took like 2 matches or like practice behind the scenes, whatever it was, but she gets it now that WWE doesn't
It's a
look
different
hard.
style.
It doesn't look hardcore, like realistic, because it's not. Like, and these women hit each other hard. They throw down each other hard, and you need to sell for them. Like, watch the bumps some of these people take. Azumi took a few bumps in this match where I was like,
They were
holy
insane.
shit. She literally threw herself, like the one thing where she jumped off the top rope
out to the outside.
Yeah, like she went right at it.
Yeah.
And you know,
and
like
Monet took the brunt of that too.
Yeah, and good.
And then you see like Iwatani and them in the background too. They were out there too.
Listen, I'm not sitting here saying I now think she's an amazing wrestler, but I think I notice improvement. I see improvement, and
that's all I ask for.
That's all I want to see, right? And in that first match, the first match she had was good. It was good, but she didn't deserve to win the title. But I understand the reasoning. Kyrie was injured.
Yeah.
And she's a name that carries so much clout in the North American market. She's going to sell tickets.
And that's why they needed her with Battle in the Valley.
I mean, she's not Okada and Tanahashi sold those tickets, but yes.
Yeah. But I mean, she was part of it.
She didn't hurt the card.
She didn't hurt the card. Yeah. But like, it was like I said, this is the way a 3-way match should have been. 2-on-1s. Like, you had Azumi and Monet teaming up against Hazuki, then Hazuki and Azumi teaming up against Monet. Like, they were, all 3 women were always involved. You didn't have that one that was on the outside for 80% of the match. You know what I mean?
Oh, and then when they did the little handshaking thing, and she went to shake her hand, and she's like, AZM. She's like, that's not my name. And
that's
she's
not
like,
my
Azumi.
name. Azumi. Yes.
And then she shook her hand, and then they both punched the other girl together, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
But this is, like I said, this is the way a 3-way should have been. Like, a lot of 2-on-1 teaming up. Then you turn on your partner, then the other 2 team up on you. You know what I mean? Like,
but I thought the other girl was there to take the pin to make Azumi look good still. But Azumi took the pin. However,
she looked good taking the pin, though.
This is going to lead to a feud between them where eventually Azumi is going to win the title.
Yeah, I think there's going to be an Azumi-Hazuki feud to get the #1 contender, because at the end of this match, Monet retains.
Yeah, never mind. Iwatani is gonna.
She's gonna win.
But I think Azumi was gonna be the person that Mayu feuds with afterwards.
Yeah, because Iwatani comes out and challenges Monet for the championship. This is Iwatani's second shot at it, because she was the one who lost to Kairi in that first ever.
Yeah, and they got to clout her up. And right now, Julia's all tied up. Shuri's off TV.
Yeah. So, Julia's entering a feud with Tam Nakano.
And it's freaking good, man. It's so
good. Go follow Julia and Tam on Instagram. And the build up to this match, I literally messaged you this afternoon and said, we got to watch the show. Like,
yeah, like just the one thing I sent you, the Limp Bizkit, someone made the Limp Bizkit cut of it and Julia shared it. It's so crazy.
And then now you're adding Monet against Iwatani on top of that as well.
And Azumi versus what's her face, who I already forgot her name again.
Yeah, Hazuki. But and this is typical New Japan style booking. We're going to give you 4 decent matches that are going to tell a story and set up something later.
And they're doing some long-term shit here, because Natsupoi and Tam Nakano are going to split and go into a feud as well.
Yeah, because that's another story they're telling on Instagram too. They're using social media so good, those girls. Like, it's fantastic.
They just get it. But
they know
AEW's the women there are starting to
to
shamelessly
understand
do
that.
it
Yeah,
too,
the
right?
the
So,
Anna JAS versus Julia Hart.
but all of them are doing it like hard. They're going so hard on their social media, sharing things in the way of their character to get themselves over for those
Hmm.
matches.
Yeah,
And I
which
think
is
that's
smart.
really good.
It's really smart. And like I said, this is that typical. The first few matches are going to tell a bit of a story of what's going to happen in the future, and then boom, here are your 5 main event matches that are going to absolutely dominate the show. And because after that, we get into Zack Sabre Jr. defending his World Television Championship against Shota Umino.
What
I
a
thought
friggin' match again.
I thought this is where they were going to pull the trigger with
No,
Umino.
I knew it. I knew it right at the beginning. And you want to know what I said in my head? I'm like,
Mm.
JD thinks that this is where he wins. And you did. And I was like, no, because he's Zack Sabre Jr. is too hot right now. He's so
Yeah.
good. That song is so good.
And
Like,
the fact that at the end of the match, too, Zach retains, but they said maybe Death Rider isn't enough. Maybe the Paradise, it's not enough to beat Zach. He has to dig deeper into his
he's gonna
arsenal.
pull out his own personal finishing move.
Yeah, because he's too much of a John Moxley clone right now.
Yeah, and I think he's still gonna keep that stuff, but I think you're gonna get a move like the shooter or something.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a thing that he does.
Yeah, like some spike DDT or something.
Or he
It's
punches him in the dick. I don't know. But
that's dick to go.
this was a good match.
Yeah.
Shooter is showing that he belongs.
Mm-hmm.
And Zack Sabre Jr. is showing that New Japan was right to have him lead his own faction and have him take the first TV title.
Mm-hmm.
And it all makes sense to me.
He's in this few months that he's had this belt, he's already added so much clout and prestige to the belt.
Yeah, and this is freaking what American wrestling doesn't get about their low tier belts.
It
AEW
looks like a Kit Kat bar, but
AEW kind of started to get it with the TNT belt, and then they lost it with those quick changes that just all happened recently.
yeah.
But I mean,
But since switching to the international championship, it's starting to gain a little bit.
that belt has done well.
Yeah.
The All Atlantic and / International, they've smartly since Pac, it got handled right.
Yeah.
Right off. I don't think it ever had an issue. That belt.
Yeah. But here's hoping Miro's coming back soon to win it.
I mean, we'll see. I don't think he's coming back.
But yeah, there's another really good match. Yeah, you're right. I think now after seeing this match and Shota Umino losing again and the commentators, but see that's the thing too. The commentators are telling the story too. This is not enough for him to beat Zach. He needs to find something else, something deeper in order for him to beat Zach. And I think Shota's going to take a couple more, not feuds, but he's going to take a couple matches here and there where he's going to try to reinvent him, not reinvent his character, but reinvent his moveset till he finally beats Zach.
Yeah.
So
I think he's going to dig deep and he's going to come out a little more hardcore.
Yeah. Not as this happy-go-lucky, I'm everybody's.
This is where that Moxley side is going to help him. It's going to benefit him, but I think he needs to have his own identity as well.
Yeah, because right now he's too much of a John Moxley light, and they even make reference to that too.
Yeah, well, John Moxley's like a super heel right now, so it's going to be hard to work that storyline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's doing a lot of good stuff right now. Say what you will about the guy and his in-ring work.
It's trash.
Yeah, but Zach retains. Next, we go into a fantastic tag team match. Bishamon defending their tag team championships against Aussie Open, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher.
Can you write down the women's match that we watched into
part of the
best women's match of the year? I think that would help. And then you can write this one in best tag team matches of the year because, geez, this was a amazing match. Like this match told such a story. It went so long. It had so many near falls. You never knew who was going to win. The Kyle Fletcher took a gnarly bump where his head hit the metal.
And this is what we were talking about in a few episodes back about we see this but they handled it smartly with having Mark Davis just dominate.
Yeah, but it wasn't done in the sense that, they can't have blood. It was because he was really hurt. Like he was like squirting blood out of his head.
Because
And
he just hit it in such an awkward angle that he not only cracked the front but the back too, because when he came back his whole head was bandaged.
but this is one of those arenas or venues where they can't have the double cage, where the first one is like that plastic and then the
Yeah,
second one is like the metal one.
because it's
So
such a small arena. You see it in the entrance ramp too when they're walking. It's just like that thin little walkway.
yeah, so they had to go just with the metal one, and I think it makes it a lot more dangerous when you're playing in the outside of
And
the
it's
ring.
very narrow there too.
Man, this was such a good
But
match.
still, it just made Kyle look like a beast.
Kyle Fletcher's so good,
Both of them are. Fletcher and Davis, like they both are. Like they are
but like
such they remind me of a little bit bigger version of FTR in terms of like that old school catch as catch can wrestling. You know what I mean? Like that like
they're a
brain
real
bust.
tag team,
Yeah.
like a real tag team. And you know what? Goto is so good, and
Yeah.
Yoshihashi has gotten so much better. Like
Yeah.
another wrestler in New Japan that we've just watched progress
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
And
And like,
again, this is also telling another story. We actually get new tag team champions. I've been saying this for a while. Aussie Open needs to
well,
win the
we knew
champ.
this would happen.
Yeah.
We didn't know when, but Bishamon was clearly chosen
Yeah.
as a transitional champion. They
It
gave
was
them
the right choice
gave
because
them the
by
clout of
Mhm.
winning the tag league and then winning the titles, just knowing that you're going to be the ones to give it up.
Yeah, we just beat the team that beat FTR basically.
And hey, that was a good match too. Bishamon is a really special tag team that I think doesn't get the praise they deserve,
Mhm.
because they came over to North America before Forbidden Door and got dominated on an episode of
Yeah,
Rampage. And I
by
think that kind of took away.
yeah, but they looked so good on this show and it just made Fletcher and Davis look all that much more better because they were already kind of teasing this with Fletcher beating Yoshihashi in the New Japan Cup and Goto losing to was it to Davis or
Yeah,
no, Fletcher beat both.
yeah, no, Davis,
No, Davis beat Osprey.
you're right. But yeah, it was really good. I don't know
Yeah.
what more you can ask for.
No. Yeah, Fletcher he beat Yoshihashi and then he beat Goto. Then he lost to Goto. Goto went on to lose to Tamatanga.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, but I'm glad I still have it saved. But yeah, Bishamon puts United Empire over strong. United Empire now look like this Aussie Open, I should say, look like this dominant tag team now.
And it didn't make Bishamon look bad at all.
No, they didn't
Um,
look bad in the loss.
the
They
fact that they had to work the rest of that match knowing Kyle Fletcher was hurt and having most of their moves be headshot moves and
yeah
have to work around the fact of not trying to hurt him more was like made me so like impressed by what was happening.
yeah they were very safe with him in the ring. Um, and the fact that this was good, another title change, but it wasn't just a title change for the sake of title changes. This actually meant something when with the title changing.
And I think it adds to what you were saying before, where they're planning on United Empire being super dominant. They have the tag titles, the junior tag titles. They
Mhm.
have what's his name? Okan has that belt, the
Yeah, the Rev
Rev
Pro.
Pro, and it's
Um,
like there's more coming.
are we getting the FTR Aussie
100%.
Open
It's gonna
at
happen at
Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door.
Open Door.
It's gonna be for no titles, I think.
I think it's just going to be to see who the better tag team is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that, and I want to see that because I'm becoming really big fans of Aussie Open. The whole United Empire faction is just like growing on me, and
They're too good.
yeah, they are. They are. Next we go into our co-main event, another title match, which was Hiromu Takahashi against Robbie Eagles for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Man, I'm so upset. Like, I get there's storytelling that we'll save for later.
Mm-hmm.
But Robbie Eagles was so good in this. He's such an underrated light heavyweight because he
Yep.
always goes far in the juniors tournament and then
But he's
loses.
never made it past that hump.
Yeah, when I think last year he was in the Was it last year he was in the finals against Hiromu? and it was a friggin' banger of a match, like absolute banger.
And then we didn't see him for like 4 months until he came back in the tag league.
Yeah, and I don't know, because I really like him. Sorry.
Yeah.
I really like the guy. I think he's such a fantastic wrestler. I love that he's in TMDK right now. I love that there's this whole beef between him and Chaos where he's upset at them for whatever happened.
Yeah.
And like his storyline right now is just good. He's such a good wrestler. I really wanted him to win this.
But what happens after Takahashi retains, but what happens after, we understand why Robbie Eagles lost.
But also what makes me upset about it is that because of the storyline where it's gonna go, Robbie Eagles is not taking that title.
Yeah. But we didn't know that at this point.
No, and I think we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this match was so good.
Takahashi's last 2 matches have been on fire, man. Like, they've been really, really good.
Okay, every match when he won the title, was it a 4-way?
Yeah, when that was at Wrestle Kingdom.
That was a great match.
The defense against Leo Rush.
Yeah. The Leo Rush match is up for match of the year. Did you write that down?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Even the Yo match.
Yeah, the Yo match was good too.
Like, he's good, but again, I think he's just that transitional champion. Yeah, let's put a couple defenses under his belt.
I think it's going somewhere first, though. I think it's gonna reach a climax of what. Okay, so let's get into the next match. So
Tanemaru, what's his name? Well, that happens after the next match.
Yeah.
So Takahashi retains, and it's gonna go somewhere. It's gonna tell another story. We go into our main event match of Sanada versus Okada.
Sonata Okada.
Yes.
Sanada.
Oh, Sanada. We stand on guard for the
Listen,
shout out to Fabs
can
for
we
coming
shout out
up
to
with
Fab for being completely wrong here?
Yes.
And not wanting to believe that we were right. We were absolutely right. Okay.
We finally get that main event push for Sanada. One we've been talking about for the last year, that he's been floundering in the mid card, and he looks
too good for that.
He looks so badass. He comes out with new ring gear. He has, like, this polished look. Now in interviews, he's wearing suits and sunglasses, and he looks believable. He looks like a star now.
He looks like the badass guy that he should have been in LIJ, but for some reason wasn't.
Yeah, sad Sonata we got in LIJ.
Yeah, we got sad Sonata. I don't want a sad Sonata.
With the disheveled hair.
I want a Hyundai Sonata.
Nice Sonata. But
that's
yeah. Yes, it is. He's got new ring gear. He's actually slightly bigger than Okada.
Yeah, he's always been like a big looking guy, and now you see
But see, that's the thing. You never, when he had the bleached hair and the beard, he didn't look as jacked as he looks now.
No, he looks since the
transition,
since the tag league.
He
put on weight, because I noticed it in the New Japan Cup that he was a lot bigger.
Yeah, and then when he came out with that new look in the finals, like
when he came out and it was all sad and he was about to lose to Taichi, I was like, oh my god, this is so stupid. I'm like, again, they're dogging him. Kenta just won a title, but they're still dogging Sonata. And then the storyline took us where we are now.
And this is going to set up something later, because I know where this is. I hope this is where it's going to go.
This is a banger match.
This is absolutely
probably, arguably, the best Okada match we've seen since the Kenny Omega era.
Match. Yeah.
Can you write this match down?
Yes, I will.
He's like, this is just
too many now.
Take notes, but I think we're gonna have to have a huge list and just filter through it later.
Yeah,
we're gonna forget matches and we're not gonna write them down, and then we're gonna lose them in our heads. But yeah,
it was fantastic. Sonata actually does the Rainmaker on Okada.
Yeah, there was a few. He tried.
There was a Destino.
He tried to do Destino and he couldn't, and then he turned it into
a bridging pin.
No, he turned it into someone else's finishing move.
Yes, I forgot the move, but yeah.
Crap, I just lost it in my head, but yeah.
Yeah, and then but it was what else? He almost won with that move too. There were some great near falls towards the end, and surprisingly, he has a new move now, and he wins with that move. And Sonata is your new IWGP champion. We called this.
You want to know what? That little finale there, the way the match had been going, and watching the previous matches, I was like, okay, even though this match has been long, I'm expecting at least 2-3 kickouts from Okada because it's about to end now. But he hit him with the finishing move, and the match was over. Yep. And I was like, there's no way that just happened. And Okada got greedy. He kept trying to put on the money clip instead of trying to do the Rainmaker.
Because every time he would try to do the Rainmaker, he'd reverse it. He knew how to get out of the Rainmaker.
So, I mean, I think that's the storyline that they're going to go with, is that. But I do think that Okada will not have any more shots for this title.
Not for a while. Not for a while. Not while Sonata has it.
Yeah, while Sonata has it, it's going to go.
My hope is Sonata's going to hold it right up until
I know we have a whole storyline that we think the Will Ospreay / Naito thing that's going to happen, but I can't help but think that what's going to happen is double belt Takahashi.
You think it's going to be double belt Takahashi?
He's their junior version of Okada.
Yes, but I don't think Takahashi's. What I think might happen is Kanemaru's going to beat Takahashi and put more belts on 5 guys to solidify them as main eventers.
Okay, I'll take that as well. And then that way we don't have to have this, because my issue that I was having with that is
because remember, he said you have to go through me first if you want a shot at him.
But I do think that the Takahashi's the kind of guy they're going to book to go through him. Then they're going to be like, oh, you got to fight Dookie next, and he's going to beat him too. And they're going to be like, oh, you got to fight him. Like, I don't dislike Takahashi the way that I kind of dislike Okada, as much as I admit Okada's good. But I do think the way they book him is really awful for the rest of the wrestlers in this division.
And that's why I think with the title now on Sonata, that this is going to put a little bit more shine on the 5 guys. And I think Kanemaru is finally going to get the recognition he deserves and win the belt off of Takahashi.
Fine, and I'll take that, because that means Robbie Eagles will get another shot at that belt. And that also means that we can still have our Naito Ospreay Sonata situation.
Absolutely. And what a story that would be if Naito and Sonata meet at Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Just like a paperback novel. Okay.
Right?
Anyways.
So, match of the night.
I don't want to pick.
You know what I did? My match of the night were all 5 title matches.
My match of the night is the tag match.
The tag match?
I'll do it. The women's match was really close. Like all 5 of these matches.
I legit put a tie. I put the women's match and the tag title matches as a tie.
I think the lowest match here
was the Zach, and that was still good.
Actually, okay, Zach and Robbie Eagles are both not match of the year candidates. But the other three all went into the women's category, went into the tag category, went into the singles category. So
yeah,
I think that
agreed.
kind of
agreed. I completely agree with that. What's your score on this one?
8.2.
Same as mine.
No way. Shut the fuck up.
I gave it an 8.2 as well.
Yeah, because I was like, so I went back to my thought process, right? And like I told you, the second half of this is like above a 9.
Yeah.
And the first half, I was like, okay, 6.5 wrestling, 7.5 story. That's like a 7. And this is over a 9. I'm like, let's
8.
Combine it. And I was like, 8. But I'm like, it was better than an 8. So I'm like, okay, 8.2.
My rationale behind it was same idea. The first half told the story, but the in-ring work wasn't as good as the second half. But then when I took my average, I'm like, no, this is better than Night 1 of Mania.
Yeah.
So I gave it 1 point higher than Night 1 of Mania.
So I think something people have to realize, especially not even
different.
Not Japanese wrestling as a whole, because I think that Pro Wrestling Noah, those early garbage matches are still bangers. Where in New Japan, all they're trying to do is either make you laugh or try to grow a storyline from those early matches. They're not trying to put on a
because
good match.
They don't have a week-to-week TV. They don't have a week-to-week TV to tell those stories.
You're waiting until halftime. and then when the real show starts. So it's hard to take away points for the
Yeah.
early stuff when we know that's always going to be there, right? Am I
That's
going to
New
say,
Japan booking.
am I
Always
going to
New
call
Japan.
this 10 out of 10 event bad because the early matches, but we know those
Yeah.
are going to be there. We're already expecting it, right? They're like their version of a pre-card or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, the pre-show, the dark matches, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's their version. This wraps up a fantastic 2 weeks of wrestling.
Yeah, all of it. All the weekly shows minus the Raw
Yeah.
were absolutely fantastic. So
Every pay-per-view that we watched over the last 2
yeah,
weeks
it was some of it's arguably the best stretch of wrestling we've ever seen.
Yeah, in a long, long time. Looking forward to Rebellion next weekend. Next Sunday.
I am. Impact's on a roll. NXT's on a roll. WWE's on a roll. AEW's on a roll.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor's on
I think
a roll.
our next
Japan.
few shows are Impact Rebellion on the 16th, Grand Slam, Queendom on the 23rd, which is headlined by
for that.
Julia against Tam. Then you have Backlash on the 6th, King and Queen of the Ring on the 27th of May, and then Double or Nothing the very next day.
Man, that's good.
And from that point, we're a month away from Forbidden Door.
That's good wrestling.
That's good wrestling. This year has been a renaissance year for
Forbidden Door is going to be difficult because I think
we have to take the emotional excitement that we're going to have going into the show and going to a live event.
I think I need to rewatch it as like I need to hear the announcers on some of it, the things. I need to feel the matches from the TV point of view as well as the live, because seeing it live is not, you don't catch everything like you do on TV, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's going to be a lot missing. Mind you, we do have pretty good seats for ring view.
We're right above the side ring on the opposite side of the hard cam.
Are we first row?
Fifth.
So it's pretty freaking close.
Yeah. So we're right above the ring, basically. I had similar seats for NXT TakeOver when I was there. So
that's a good spot?
Yeah.
All right.
Except I was on the hard cam side, not the opposite side, but still good.
Same thing.
Yeah. But the Scotia Center, all the sight lines are pretty good over there.
Yeah, it's a good arena.
As long as you're not too far back on the upper bowl, you're good.
That's where I think you lose it. From the middle of the upper bowl up, it's like pretty bad. Or the last row in the bottom deck is pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Because you're like have a flat eye line.
Yeah. And floors, it's kind of hard unless you're right on that.
I would never want to be on the floor. I don't understand people.
Unless I'm first two rows, yeah.
I watch it. If you're not in New Japan setup where you can see right like perfectly, like the guards are not high and you can see through it. When you're watching the people at AEW and like WWE, they can't even see what's happening in the match from the sitting seats.
No, I see sometimes when I see like Instagram stories of people who are at like events and they're like 15, 20 rows back on the floors, all you see is like other people.
Yeah. You got to stand up, and then if you stand up, the people behind you can't see, and then it's like starts a whole fucking chain.
Then they're standing on chairs and all that. But yeah, so our review for Forbidden Door may come a little later because we may have to watch it twice. But with that out of the way, thanks again for joining us. Goodbye and good night.